Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk news. I am El Fakador Laurie Blake, and we start with Becky Lynch, who has been making like a granny on Sunday and roasting like her life depends on it. Lynch's longtime frenemy Charlotte Flair posted this glossy photo of her with all the titles that she's won in WWE and a little picture of her daddy that said, "Silver spoon, yup. Legacy, you're damn right. I had a head start. I've also ran with the weight of this legacy on my back. Figure out how to make yourselves better as opposed to talking about how I got here. I'm not slowing down." To which Becky responded with a picture of Britney Spears and, "My God, she's moving on to stealing other people's bodies now." Oops, she did it again. Someone call Chris Crocker. Charlotte needs him. Leave Charlotte alone. From someone who is not a girl and not yet a woman's champion to the lady of NXT, because Lacey Evans and EC3 made their in-ring main roster debuts at the main event tapings before last night's Raw in Orlando. EC3 picked up a win over Kurt Hawkins, which actually means that the top 1% now joins 99% of other wrestlers, and that gives us around 100. We did it, people. Maths. Meanwhile, Lacey put in a good showing against Natalya, but was ultimately tapped out with the sharpshooter. Wrestling Observer Online are reporting, though, that both of these were dark matches and will not be airing on this week's episode of Main Event. No word yet then when any of these call-ups that keep getting teased will actually debut. It's almost as if the announcement was rushed to placate an audience who were upset with how bad the product had gotten recently. It's crazy talk. Long-term booking's a thing. Speaking of long-term booking, now that Kenny Omega's is up with New Japan, everyone is wondering where he will head next. As I said in the news yesterday, WWE reportedly put in a fantastic offer for him, and All Elite Wrestling is obviously after him too because they're mates. Well, a few more hints may have come out since yesterday's news. First and foremost is the fact that Dave Meltzer said on yesterday's Wrestling Observer Radio that New Japan intends to keep working with Ring of Honor in the short term rather than partnering up with AEW, which obviously makes sense considering AEW is a startup and Ring of Honor have a long-established relationship with NJPW. Meltzer said, though, "I know that even as late as a couple of days ago, All Elite was thinking maybe Kenny Omega would work for New Japan and All Elite both. Elite wanted to keep their talent working in New Japan and wanted to partner with New Japan on events, and that's not going to happen, at least for right now. Who knows what happens in future, but that's the thing right now, and it may have cost them Kenny Omega. Which I guess could mean a couple of things. One obvious one is that if Omega does sign with AEW, he won't be returning to NJPW anytime soon. But this could also swing his decision to sign with AEW in the first place, as it limits his ability to work with one of the biggest indie promotions in the world, and arguably the place he's best known, which could make that WWE money seem all the more appealing. But then Meltzer said on the latest Observer Radio that NJPW may be keen on working with AEW after all, funnily enough, because they want to keep Omega on their books. New Japan really wants Kenny Omega, so they may be working with All Elite. I don't know how it's all going to come down, but it definitely went from the idea that they're not going to be working with All Elite now, they may at some point, anything can happen at some point, but for now, that wasn't going to happen, to, I think it's got a very good shot at happening. So it seems like things keep going round and round in circles, but we do have the end of the latest Being the Elite, where Kenny's lost phone is spotted outside the Tokyo Dome as a clue, because it's got the sound of a ticking timer, which could be counting down to Kenny signing with his buddies in Jacksonville tonight. But in less mysterious contract news though, the Young Bucks, who are the executive vice presidents of AEW, finally actually signed their own All Elite Wrestling contracts on the latest episode of Being the Elite. Myself, Mr. Jackson, and my colleague, Mr. Jackson, would like to welcome you, Mr. Jackson, and you, Mr. Jackson, to All Elite Wrestling. It's a bit weird, really. Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, and Hangman Page also all signed their contracts too, so there's some people finally, officially on the roster. Apart from Britt Baker. And that actually may not be the half of it, because Pro Wrestling Sheet are reporting that they have learned that Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky of SoCal Uncensored may have also signed up to be All Elite 2. Pro Wrestling Sheet sources are saying that the signing will be announced at the Double or Nothing rally in Jacksonville, which, if true, is kind of a huge get for AEW. And if you've got just those three guys, plus Cody, the Bucks, Paige, Brandy, Britt Baker, and you use a bit of, I don't know, WWE's booking magic, you can get 5 years worth of show out of that. Not good show, but show. Was Braun Strowman's face-to-face with Brock Lesnar the worst promo of 2019? It's week 2 of January, so the answer is yes by default. But what made it so bad? Check out Ollie's Raw review by clicking the link on screen now and give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news. I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.